Hi all, welcome back to the Sydney Stoma channel. My name's Chris, and in today's video we're going to be having a look at a Stoma Guard. And the Stoma Guard in question is this one right here. There's the guard, there's the belt that goes around your waist, etc. So yes, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this Stoma Guard, and do we need Stoma Guards? Is there a need to actually wear them? And that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. So I hope you're doing well, especially with the current coronavirus situation that we've all got going on. And in the UK, we've gone back into another form of lockdown. Doesn't seem quite as stringent as the first lockdown when coronavirus first came about. But yeah, we are in another lockdown, and I know that can cause lots of issues for some people, especially some people with health issues, be it physical or mental health. Being stuck at home on your own, if you're suffering with mental health, is going to be a problem. But always talk, always find someone to talk to, be it on the phone, text message, whatever. Stay in contact with people. If you know someone that's on their own, then drop them a call, just to let them know that you're thinking about them. So there you go. But I hope you're all doing okay otherwise. So yeah, so today's view, as I've said, today's review, if you like, is a product review of this Stoma Guard. This Stoma Guard comes from Respond Healthcare, which are based in the UK, that are suppliers of stoma products for people with stomas, etc. So they very kindly sent me this one, so I haven't paid for it. I wouldn't say it's a sponsored review or a paid review. They just sent me it after discussions I had with them about the Stoma Guard, so they very kindly sent this to me. It won't change how I review the product just because someone sent me that for free. If I don't think it's very good, I'll always be honest, because there's always going to be an end user on the end, and I'm not going to lie or etc. For somebody that has a stoma. That's absolutely pointless. So I'd always keep things nice and honest for you. So yeah, so they sent me this one. They sent it to me quite a while ago now, and I have put it through some quite heavy testing. Probably some heavy testing that probably to extremes that I probably shouldn't have gone to really, but I wanted to test it out. And the reason I wanted to do that is because of the way that it's marketed on their website. And at the time of doing this review, it has still got the word sporting activities in there. Now we need to be careful with that term, sporting activities, and I have fed this back to Respond. But I did check this morning and it's still on their website, but we'll talk about that. So first of all, do you need a Stoma Guard? Well, that generally depends on you really and how you feel, but let's say you're new to having an ostomy and you're worried about knocking it. You're worried about getting bumped or knocked, and that causes you quite a bit of anxiety. Then wearing a Stoma Guard is probably absolutely for you, and wearing one like this is going to be perfect for you because it will reduce that stress. And if it can take some stress and anxiety away, then that's fantastic, isn't it? Then it's achieving its job just in that area, because we don't need to carry anxiety or stress around having a stoma, because there isn't a real need for that. But if you're new to having a stoma, I can fully appreciate why that might be a concern. And it was for me in the early days of having a stoma. I'm coming up to 3 years of having mine, and there are occasions when it does concern me depending on what I'm doing. So this Stoma Guard here, as I said, is made by Respond, and it's made of a very solid type of plastic. And the way that this would fit on is this will go over your stoma. In fact, what I'm going to do is, it's going to be easier if I just stand up and replicate that, isn't it? Hopefully my waist will stay in the shot. If not, I'll have to move my chair. I'm not very good at editing, so we'll just roll and see what happens, shall we? So yeah, I'll pop it on and I'll show you where the positioning for it goes and how it goes on. That's probably going to be a lot easier. So as I said, this bit will go over your stoma. It's got this nice curved part to allow any waste to go drop down into your bag without it being pressured and cut off. So that's what that opening is there for. So that will always go bottom down, which would just allow the output to drop down into the bag. So let's crack on. So I'm going to pull my top up. You are going to see some skin, and I might have to undo my trousers ever so slightly, but I'm not going to reveal anything, don't you worry. So let's crack on. Let's do that, shall we? Oh, got wires in the way. Okay, so if I pull my top up, excuse the mic wire, and I'm going to have to pull that up. So yeah, there's my belly. So I'm going to undo my trousers slightly. Apologies for not the best angle. I should have planned this through at the beginning, shouldn't I? So as you can see, up here on my bag that's where a filter is on the bag that I'm using, and my stoma sits just in the middle of there, just where my finger is. So with this Stoma Guard, as I say, this part goes on the bottom. So I know that is covering my stoma. If I have the top part of that just resting above that filter, or around about the same sort of place, and then run the strap around. As I use convex bags, I've already got a belt on, so I'm going to run that round, and it can be quite tricky to hold it. So there we go, I've got it. And then you need to clip that on, which can be a bit of a fiddle to get this on. It is quite tight, so this little peg here has got to go in there, but at an angle to start with. Having that microphone wire in the way is not much help. There you go. So that's on, and that's where it'd sit. We can adjust it a bit. There you go. So you can see that now covers my stoma quite nicely. I generally have this belt over the top of my convex belt. And there you go, I don't even know that's there. I can't feel it, I can't really feel having two belts on. I know it's looking like it's pinching my skin a bit there. I've got a pinch an inch hanging over there, but I can't really feel that. It's not digging in or cutting in. And that is nicely over the stoma. Because of where that opening is, it still allows the output to drop down into the bag. And it is a solid bit of kit. If you get gentle knocks on there, nothing's gonna happen. So that's how it fits. And if you pull your clothes down over the top, there you go, you can't see it, you don't know it's there at all unless you really flatten it out, and even then you will see it, but you won't otherwise. So no one's going to know it's there, and it gives you that peace of mind. So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to take it off first, so we'll just do the reverse. Taking it off is a little bit easier. There you go, and that's that off. That's done. So there you go, a bit of a crude demonstration because I should have planned it beforehand, shouldn't I? But I didn't. But you can see the point, you can see where it sits, and it doesn't cause any issues. Did have to go up on tiptoes to do that. So back to the original question of, do you need one? Well, I kind of covered about what if you're new to a stoma and you're worried about it being knocked. And that's where this is an absolutely ideal product. It is fantastic for what I would say is everyday usage. For going to the shops, ideal. If you're worried about someone bumping into you with a trolley, which does happen. Should be happening less if people are sticking to social distancing, but it does happen, doesn't it? Or someone bumps into you with a basket, etc. Then that's fantastic. It's going to take that impact and not cause you any issues. So it's ideal for that. What else could it be ideal for? Gardening. If you're doing a bit of gardening, sometimes things can bump into you in the garden, or you can bump into things in the garden, or if you're using tools close up, that's going to protect you in that example as well. So everyday things like shopping, gardening, going out walking, riding bikes, whatever. It's very comfortable to wear. You don't really know you're wearing it, even though it's quite a solid lump of plastic. You don't really know it's there. So for those things, this is absolutely fantastic. For an everyday Stoma Guard, brilliant piece of kit, absolutely brilliant. And for its price, I haven't mentioned its price. You may be able to get this on prescription in the UK, but if you're not in the UK, then this was, I think in total, I think it's £10. They sell the belt and the actual guard itself as two separate things. I think that's just under £9, and I think that's sort of a couple of quid. So around about £10, £11. I think they should sell it as one whole kit, to be honest. You know, why would you just buy that on its own? Because my convex bags belts won't work with this, and I can't use that. So I don't really understand why they do it as two separate. So I think they should sell it as one piece, to be quite honest, rather than two. So yeah, they sell those absolutely individually. But like I say, definitely should sell it as a pair. I think would be fine, and around about £10. So for its price point, and for an everyday item, fantastic Stoma Guard. It's definitely going to give you peace of mind. You're definitely going to be able to go out and do your shopping in your gardening, etc., and not have to worry about being knocked. So for that, it is an absolutely brilliant product. And I have tested this really, really heavily. You can drive over this. You can literally drive a car across the top of that and it doesn't break. Now that sounds great, but it isn't, because obviously if someone drove over you wearing it, there's going to be a lot of problems. But it just gives you an idea of its strength. You know, if that's how strong it is, you can drive a car over it. Yeah, we wouldn't be doing that, and I didn't test it wearing it. It was on the ground. And I think someone else has done it as well with that. I've also given this some quite severe testing in terms of hitting it with things. And I did have it strapped to a tree, and I did hit it with quite a lot of things, and it didn't break. It didn't even mark it. I did have to give it a wash because it did have some sort of tree marks on it. And so yeah, it is super strong, which could lure you into a bit of a false sense of security about this, because it can cause you a problem. And this is something I've addressed with Pelican. I have told them, and they're looking into it, because it's not. So on their marketing, it says that it's okay for sporting activities. Now that's you've got to be careful with. If you're doing any type of sport that involves contact of any form, then this isn't ideal. It's not good for that. It's definitely not good for contact sport. So sport that doesn't involve contact, then do you really need it in the first place if it's not a contact sport? But if it's a sport that means you could fall, then it's going to be pretty good. So I wore this and I tested it quite hard, and I did cause myself a bit of a problem. I caused myself quite a fair bit of bruising underneath because I did take some heavy impact whilst wearing it, and it isn't designed to take heavy impact when you're wearing it. This is designed as an everyday item. So sporting activities, you've got to be really careful what you choose to do with that. And that could be simple as playing tennis. Tennis balls can be hit at pace, you know, and they can travel very fast. I mean, if you're into tennis and you watch things like tennis tournaments like Wimbledon, like we have in the UK, some of the men in there and some of the females can serve at well over 100 miles per hour. A ball hits that at 100 mile an hour, you're gonna have some serious pain, and there's reasons for that, because this has no shock absorbency on it. So what I mean by shock absorbency is this is solid plastic, and that solid is against your skin. So if something hard hits that, the force of that will travel around the outside of this straight onto your skin and the area around your stoma. Excuse me, I've got an itchy eye. And that's where I caused myself a bit of bruising, and it worried me for a little bit, because it hasn't got any shock absorbency. That impact is going straight directly into your body. Whereas if this had longer base on it with some shock absorbency on it, then that would be okay. So for heavy impacts, heavy contact sports, not ideal. And I have, like I say, I have emailed Pelican. I have told them my thoughts, Respond rather. I have told them what my thoughts are on that, and I think they're going to look into that. They're a fantastic company. They really do listen. So I do think they need to take it off their website around sporting activities, because it might give people a false idea that can take extreme force. It can take extreme force, it absolutely can, but your body can't take it. Your body in the stoma area will not take that extreme force. So because it hasn't got the shock absorbency, it's got nothing to absorb that impact. The only thing that's absorbing that impact is your skin. And with stomas, you're going to have, yes, you've got the piece of intestine coming out of the skin, but that also means you've got a channel of intestine that is going to be very close to the skin. And that's what I bruised. I bruised that area. Should I have tested it to that degree? Probably not. That was probably me being silly. And I did record that testing, but I decided not to show that because I wouldn't want anyone to go and replicate that and cause themselves an injury. But I wanted to test it. I wanted to see what it could take. It can take a lot. I know it can take a lot, but your body cannot. So the positives of this, fantastic peace of mind for everyday activities, shopping, gardening, etc. It's ideal. And if you want one for that reason, because you're new to a stoma and you're worried about it being knocked, then this is great. And it's, you know, it's around about £10–11 all in, which you can't argue with that price. So for everyday stuff, fantastic piece of kit, great item. For anything more than that, don't use this. You'll hurt yourself. I promise you, I hurt myself. I've healed from it. All is good, but I did hurt myself. And that's probably my own fault for testing it to that level. But yeah, don't use it for anything else. I have got another Stoma Guard that I'm going to review that is designed to take heavy impact, and I won't show you it now because I'm still testing it. It did cost a lot of money. It was paid for, and that was just over $300. It had to come from America, and it's vastly different to this. So once I've tested that one, I'll do a review on that, and I will be testing that to quite extremes as well. But it's designed to take that sort of impact. It's got lots of shock absorbency, etc. So when I've done that one, I'll come back and I'll share that with you. So yeah, just to finish off, do you need a Stoma Guard? That's down to you. It's down to your own peace of mind. And if it removes any anxiety, any stress about having a stoma when you're out, absolutely go and buy one of these. They're fantastic for everyday life. Just don't do anything extreme with it and put yourself in a position where it could have to have a heavy impact. Your body's not going to like it. This would like it. It'll lap it up all day, but your body won't. So there you go. Great for every day. I think I've said that a million times. So there you go. There's my review on the Pelican Respond. They're the same company, I believe, Pelican Respond. So yeah, I'll have to check that out exactly now. But Respond is where it came from. But yeah, go and check it out if you want one. Like I say, £11. Great for every day. Not great for contact sport or heavy impact. But there you go. Stay safe, everybody. Take care. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye now.